Hi, I'm Adrienne and welcome to the Bouquet Farm. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a peony arrangement from the garden. We are going to be using all things that are seasonal in the same time as the peonies. In today's design, the peony is our focal flower. However, I've been able to go out into the garden and choose some different textures and foliages that we have that are in season right now. So we have Queen Anne's lace, we have thornless blackberries, which is really neat to think outside the box a little bit. We have these beautiful 9 bark and right now they're blossoming like little tiny little white flowers. And the deep burgundy in them is so beautiful. We have Bridal Veil Spirea, which is one of my favorites. We have Mexican orange, also beautiful tiny little flowers, and they smell so lovely. And then we have viburnum and the viburnum leaves. So you might not have the exact same things as me, but this encourages you to go outside into your garden and choose what's available to you. A common question is at what stage to pick your peonies. What we are looking for is called the marshmallow stage. So you want to pick your peonies when it actually feels like a marshmallow. Although this one is so beautiful and your peonies will open eventually to be like this is too far to pick. And if you're picking at this stage, then they won't last very long in your arrangement. So to design the arrangement today, you only need a few simple things. One, I'm just choosing a lovely picture from my kitchen. You'll need some clippers. And this is not necessary. I have it on just a sprinkle of flower food, but what is most important is to have clean water for your flowers. Keeping your flowers cut and always topped up with water is the most important thing to keep your flowers lasting long. Okay, now the fun part begins. We are going to begin with our Bridal Veil Spirea. So everything that we have chosen they're just accents for your peonies. I have kept everything very simple because I want the peonies to be the star of the show. So everything here is beautiful as they are. The peonies are going to be the star of the show, and that's why I've chosen these other items. So with the Bridal Veil Spirea, and actually any flower, you're going to completely strip the stem that is going into the water. This helps keep the water clean, like we talked about earlier. And the Bridal Veil Spirea has a very woody stem, so anything that has a woody stem, what we want to do is when we're cutting it, we want to slice it up a little bit up the stem so that the water can absorb more into the stem, so it'll last a little bit longer. So I'm just taking my stem, I'm gonna go in from one side over here. How beautiful is that? And then I'm going to take my other piece and I'm going to come in along the other side. Now, what I don't want to do, they have a little mind of their own, so I might switch this over here so you can see it. What I don't want to do is, I do not want them to be like 2 bunny ears sticking out. I want to bring one down a little bit lower. So once again, stripping the stems. You'll get very used to doing that and it'll just become like second nature to you. Clipping in here. I love the little delicate white flowers of these. So then next we're going to use the viburnum leaves. So even after your viburnums are done blooming, these are really nice to use for foliage. And I'm just going to start filling in along, and I've created 2 beautiful lines that we're going to follow along with our other stems to help create our shape of our arrangement. And now these ones, they don't have a woody stem, so I am cutting them at an angle, and that helps those ones absorb more water. Then I'm going to come in with this really beautiful 9 bark. And what I love about this, it's adding something really deep in color into the arrangement, which really helps bring that depth into there and helps the other flowers just pop a little bit more. And of course right now these are just so beautiful. Once again, another woody stem, so I'm cutting right up along there. I'm going to just place this in here. Just a little pop of that. Now when I am designing, this one is definitely, it's from the garden, so we want it to look like it came out of the garden. So as natural and loose as you can be, you want it to look like I said, like it came out of the garden. We don't want them to look perfect because although flowers are so beautiful, they actually are not perfect. And then now we have our viburnum blooms. So they start off as a little green color and they eventually turn more to a white color. They're called snowball viburnums. These are really great to fill in space and to add that little pop of that fresh green in there. And once again, I'm following along this line here. So I'm really creating a lot of gorgeous texture. It looks beautiful just as it is already. We haven't even added our peonies. This is fun. Something I often love to do is really, like I talked about, thinking outside the box. Like who would have thought is a thornless blackberry? And this one actually even has a little bloom on it, so it adds that extra little touch to that, giving that a nice little cut. And I want you to see that little flower, so I'm just gonna pop her in right there. And these have really beautiful, you can see the back side of the stem, such a natural, gorgeous curve to them that really helps create a nice design in your arrangement. Then the next one is the Queen Anne's lace. And this just has a really fun texture to it without taking away from the peony. So, bring this one right down in there. And then I'm going to bring this one back on the back side of the arrangement. And I've really created a base for the peonies. So now when we go to add the peonies, everything is really structured nicely that the peonies will just pop in. So really adding your greeneries first before your focal flowers is a really key point in making an arrangement, a flower arrangement. So now we get to do the peonies. These will definitely open up a larger in size, so we're putting them in at this stage, but then this will help your arrangement last a lot longer when you're choosing them at the right stage. But keeping in mind that they will open up, so giving them the space that they need. And I've chosen white peonies today, but of course there's so many different colors in peonies, light pinks, bright pinks, a coral, butter yellow, there's so many, raspberry kind of color. There are so many different varieties of peonies. We have a few different varieties growing here at the farm. Whites always seem to be my favorite though, especially for inside if you're popping this into your kitchen, it's just nice to have something simple and fresh that's also classy at the same time. I'm giving these all that angled cut on them so they can drink a lot. Another thing to help keep your flowers lasting longer is keeping them in a cooler space. So in your home is definitely fine, but not obviously having them in front of the heater or anything like that. And so I'm just going to twist this around so I can see where I want to put this last peony. So I've got this one coming out here. So you're just using your eye on where to place the peonies. You just don't want them all at the same level, and creating depth by bringing some up higher, some up a little bit lower, and just having fun with that design in your arrangement. So there we have it. Here is your simple but beautiful peony arrangement that you just picked out of the garden. You're ready to place this in your kitchen, on the counter, dining table, on your coffee table, anywhere in your home. This will be beautiful.